Hi everyone, this is Miles Mortgages Alba, or you may call me Sir Miles, and I would like to welcome you to my Fundamentals of Accountancy Business Management 2 class, okay? So the first lesson that we're going to discuss is entitled the Statement of Financial Position, or the SFP. What you will learn. So in this module, you are expected to achieve the following. First, you need to identify the element of the SFP and describe each of them. And next, prepare the SFP using the report form and the account form with proper classification of items as current and non-current. So for this lesson, we're going to focus to the element of statement of financial position. But before that, let's proceed to the starter. So prepare a personal SFP. First, you need to get a 1/4 piece of paper or any paper that you have in your house. Next, you need to write your current saving and everything that you own. For example, you have a saving that is worth 500 pesos, 100 pesos, 300 pesos. Then you can write it in your paper. So if you also have for example, you have clothes, pen, pencil, you can write it also. Okay, then after that, once you already write your current savings, we proceed to the amount that you owe to your friends, family members, and parents. So ito po yung mga liabilities natin na dapat natin bayaran sa mga kakilala natin or sa mga inutangan natin. Okay, for example, may utang ka kay mother mo or kay father mo na worth 500 pesos, then write it in your piece of paper. Okay, so after you write your liabilities, it is the right time to deduct the amount that you owe from the amount you own. Okay, so you need to minus your liabilities to your current savings, then associate amount owned with assets and amount with liabilities with the net amount as equity. So once you get the answer, that will be your equity. So dito, sakto po ba yung assets natin doon sa liability na meron tayo? Okay? Then that will be the your personal statement of financial position. So para mas maintindihan niyo siya, we will discuss it one by one para maging clear and sounds good siya sa inyo. Okay? Now, let's discuss what is statement of financial position. Ano nga ba ang statement of financial position? It is known as the balance sheet. Okay? This statement includes the amount of the company's total assets, liabilities, owner's equity, which is totality provides the condition of the company on a specific day. So wherein, dito po sa balance sheet na ito, nakalagay po dito yung total amount of company total assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. Okay, tandaan po yan. So bakit kailangan natin ng balance sheet? Dito, makikita natin if the company have or provide a good statement of their accounts. Okay, makikita natin dito if balance ba yung assets na meron yung company, yung liabilities and owner's equity na meron ang isang kumpanya. Okay? Now, we proceed to permanent and temporary accounts and statement of financial position. When we say permanent accounts, as the name suggests, these accounts are permanent in the sense that their balance remains intact from one accounting period to another. So you can say that the account is permanent kapag intact po yung isang yung account doon sa ibang account pa. Okay, so example po nito ay yung cash, account receivable, accounts payable, the loans payable, the capital, among others. So basically, the assets, liabilities, and equity account are permanent accounts. So you can tell po na yung mga assets na meron po tayo sa ating company and the liabilities that we have and the equity also is a permanent account in statement of financial position. So they called permanent accounts because the accounts are retained permanently in the SFP until their balance becomes zero. So you can tell those accounts as a permanent account because the account or their accounts are retained permanently in balance sheet until na maging zero po yung mga balances nila. While when we say temporary accounts naman, this is found in Statement of Comprehensive Income or the SCI. So you can call an account as a temporary account which the zero balance at the end of the accounting period, or the account in Statement of Comprehensive Income will have a zero balance at the end of the accounting period. So yun po yung tinatawag na temporary account, because at the end of the accounting period, it needs to become the balance needs to become a zero. Okay. Next, we have the example of the statement of financial position. So how to make a statement of financial position. First, you need to write the company's name. For example, we have the Learning is Fun company. After that, we write also what kind of statement that we are going. So for example, we're going to write the statement of financial position, then also the end of the account, which is as of December 31, 2016. Ibig sabihin po ito, all the accounts are written in the statement of financial position can be good enough to use until December 31, 2016. So since statement of financial position, pinapakita dito yung assets, liability, and equity, we need to put first the assets, okay? We have the current assets. So ito pong nakalagay dito, or ito yung mga example na given na po. Okay, so first we have the cash, the account receivable, the accrued income, the inventory, the prepaid expense, and the total current assets. So after that, matapos natin ma-compute yung current assets natin, we proceed to non-current assets. So we have the long-term investments, the intangible, the property, plant, equipment, the accumulated depreciation, and after that, we combine or total the non-current assets. So to get the total asset, we just need to add the current assets total and the total non-current assets, and we will have a total assets, which is 3,550,000 pesos. Okay, so don't forget to put peso sign, Philippine peso sign. Next, after we were done in assets, we proceed to liabilities and owner's equity. So we proceed to the current liabilities. So ito, sabi ko kanina, given na po ito. Example lang to, given na. So the accounts payable, accrued expense, unearned income, and notes payable, then you just need to add those accounts. Then we can have a total current liabilities na 580,000 pesos. Then after that, we proceed to non-current liabilities account. We have the mortgage payable, the loans payable, and we combine these two payable, then we can have a total non-current liabilities na 1,500,000 pesos. Then we have total of 2,080,000 pesos to the total liability. So we just need to combine the total non-current assets and the total current assets. Okay. Then after liabilities, we go to owner's equity. So yung owner's equity natin, we have 470,000 pesos. Then after that, we can combine it. Then we can have a total liabilities in owner's equity amounting 3,550,000, which is the same or balance with the total assets na 3,550,000 pesos. So lagi pong tatandaan, which is the most basic accounting equation, is assets is equal to liabilities plus owner's equity. So whatever happened, the assets must be balanced or the same with the liabilities and owner's equity. Now, let's discuss the two kinds of form in statement of financial position. When we say report form, it shows that assets account first, then liabilities and owner's equity accounts after. So yung example natin ng balance sheet or statement of financial position na pinakita kanina is an example of report form. So nakikita nyo, pasunod-sunod po siya pababa. We have the assets, after the assets, we have the liabilities, and after that, we have the owner's equity. Pababa lang po. While yung account form naman natin is a form of the SFP that shows assets on the left side and the owners and the liabilities and owner's equity is on the right side. Okay? Parang tulad lang po ng debit and credit balances of an account. So dito, hindi po siya pasunod-sunod because the assets will be located in the left side while yung liability and owner equity natin is nasa kabilang side naman, which is in the right side. So to emphasize that the two are only formats will be yield the same amount of total assets, liability, and equity. So dito nakikita po talaga natin if the account is the same or totally the same, okay? And emphasize that the asset should always be equal to liabilities and equity. Now we proceed to the what is current assets and what is current liabilities. So it is very important, class, to know this term, lalo na if you have an accounting subjects, okay? So always to ginagamit na term na to. When we say current assets, these assets can be realized, collected, sold, and used up 1 year after the year and date. Okay, so example, we have the cash, the account receivable, the merchandise inventory, and the prepaid account. So these assets are the resources that can be used within a year. Okay, so we have the cash, okay, account receivable, pwede po siya magamit sa isang negosyo or sa isang company. While yung current liabilities naman, these are liabilities that fall due paid recognized as revenue within 1 year after the year end date. So example nito, we have the notes payable, accounts payable, and accrued payable expenses. So these are the liabilities that we need to pay, okay, within a year. Okay, that is current liability. So current assets are arranged based on which asset can be realized first, or the liquidity. Current assets and current liabilities are also called short-term assets and short-term liabilities. So these current liabilities and current assets can categorize also as a short-term assets and short-term liabilities. Now we proceed to the non-current assets and also to the non-current liabilities. Okay, so this is different to the current assets and current liabilities, because when we say non-current assets, these assets cannot be realized or cannot be collected, sold, or used up 1 year after the year end date. So example po nito, we have the property, plant, equipment, okay, the long-term investment and intangible assets. So these assets can be used for more than a year. Okay, so syempre, property, plant, equipment natin, this is a resource of a company that can be used for more than a year. Okay, kaya tinawag ko siya ng non-current assets. While in non-current liabilities naman natin is liabilities that do not fall due. Okay, so ito yung mga dapat nating bayaran that need to pay more than a year. So example po nito, we have the loans payable and the mortgage payable. So tandaan po that the non-current assets and non-current liability are also called as long-term assets and long-term liability. So ito po yung pinagkaiba or kabaliktaran ni current assets and ni current liabilities. Okay, sinatawag po sila long-term assets, and long-term liabilities. So now, we will have a part 2 of this lesson since it is a long topic. Okay, I hope you gain knowledge about the first topic that the first recorded video discussion that we discussed. Okay, so see you sa part 2. Thank you.